When I first started traveling on my own, I almost always overpacked. I'd open the suitcase the night before a trip and just start tossing things in. Shirts for warm weather, sweaters just in case, and enough camera gear to film a small documentary. Over the years, I've learned that traveling with just carry on isn't about sacrifice, it's about simplifying and making the trip easier. It saves time, money, and a lot of frustration. But it does take some planning. So here's how I get ready for a vacation with only a carry-on bag and still have everything that I need. And although my videos are aimed at senior solo travelers, I think this advice is good for everyone. I just watched a YouTube video of a young couple who had traveled from Britain to Bangkok, and they were loaded down with their luggage and exhausted by the time they got from the airport to their hotel in the heat. I kept thinking as I was watching them that they would have been so much more comfortable if they had just put some thought ahead and packed light. So I realized that this advice applies to everyone. If you just start packing the night before your flight, you'll take too much. I start planning a few days before I leave. The first thing I do is check the anticipated weather at my destination. Not just the average temperatures for the region that you can find on the internet, but the actual forecast for the places that you'll be visiting. A surprise cold snap for a week of rain can throw off a trip if you've only packed for sunshine that you've seen in the promotional advertising. Then I think about what I'll actually be doing. Am I going to be walking around on city streets, taking a forest hike, going snorkeling, having dinner somewhere that calls for smart casual wear? Once I have a sense of my activities, it's easy to pick the footwear and the layers. I do have a few things that I simply don't travel without. Small portable charger, ear pods, because I enjoy photography, a collapsible tripod for photos and videos. I'll admit that my downfall is camera gear, but photography is part of what makes travel so rewarding for me. It's creative, keeps me observant, and it gives me something to share later on Instagram or my YouTube channel here. So I always allow myself a little space for the things that I enjoy, even if they're not strictly necessary. Those are my packing splurges. Everyone has their own. For some, it's a big, thick bird book, or a couple of hardcover novels, or some knitting supplies. The point is to identify what really adds value to your trip and make sure you have room for it. The choice of bag can make or break the carry-on experience. On a trip to Portugal last year, I took a soft-sided bag that can be either carried by hand or worn as a backpack. That versatility made train stations and cobblestone streets a little bit easier, but there were also times where I wished that I had a bag with a couple of wheels so that I could drag it along through an airport rather than carry it over my shoulder or on my back. And sometimes it was a bit cumbersome to have both the shoulder bag and the backpack. At times, I felt like a bit of a pack animal. I'm getting too old for that. The wheeled carry-ons with 4 rotating wheels sticking out from the bottom might feel smoother and look better, but sometimes that adds extra size to the luggage, and airlines are becoming more restrictive with what you can put in their overhead bins. So these days I'm using an old soft-sided standby that easily rolls on 2 wheels that don't stick out too far at the bottom. Be sure to check your airline size and weight limits before you go, especially on budget carriers or smaller regional flights. Sometimes it's worth paying a slightly higher fare that includes heavier carry-on allowance. It's certainly cheaper than getting hit with overweight charges at the airport. And sometimes when you buy the economy ticket, it doesn't even include your carry-on bag, just a personal item. So be sure that you check that when you make your flight booking. For my personal item, I use a lightweight backpack that holds some of my camera gear, documents, and electronics. It fits under the seat and can also serve as a day pack once I arrive. I also pack my liquids in there so they're easily accessible in the airport security. Now, both of these items are starting to look a little bit worn, but they've served me well and traveled many miles with me. I know where the various pockets are and what I usually keep in them. These are old friends, and I'm sticking with them till they're totally worn out. I stay with comfortable, neutral clothing that can mix and match. Everything should work with everything else. I take one shirt, light sweater, and pants that can give me the smart casual look if I need it. That's as upscale as I get. If I'm going somewhere where it's warm, I pack a couple of pairs of shorts, 2 or 3 t-shirts or lightweight polo tops that can be worn with shorts or with the pants. Wrinkle-resistant, quick-dry, lightweight fabrics make life easier if I'm moving between hotels. I bring a couple of small packets of laundry detergent and do a quick wash midway through the trip. That saves me extra clothes. And a laundromat or a washing machine access is a bonus at some point after 10 days of travel. It allows me to pack that much less. But even puddling out underwear and socks in the sink works too. I always take a lightweight shell. Keeps me warm on a cool, breezy evening and handles a sudden sprinkle. A collapsible umbrella doesn't weigh much and sometimes it saves the day. Shoes take up the most room, so I wear my hiking or walking shoes on the flight, and then I might pack one extra pair plus sandals if the destination is warm. But that's it. Once everything is laid out, I do a test pack. Doesn't fit or feels heavy, well, I unpack it all and I take something out, and I do it again. It might take a couple of passes and adjustments to get it right. Each time I ask myself, will I actually wear this? Well, if the answer is maybe, that item stays home. And no matter how tempting it is, I have learned to resist throwing in just-in-case items. I remind myself that no matter where I go, if I've forgotten something or I really need to add a clothing item, I can always just buy it. And often I pick up a shirt or an item of clothing that I want to bring home with me anyway, so I can wear it while I'm on the road and then bring it home as a reminder of my trip. Keeping the weight down makes it a lot easier to lift my carry-on into the overhead bin. If I'm flying from a cool climate into a warm one, I also make sure that there's space in my bag to tuck away my jacket and jeans once I change into shorts and a t-shirt. If you're only going to be staying in one place, well, that's not quite so urgent. But if you're taking other flights, well, you need to be able to pack that heavier stuff into your carry-on as well. I roll my clothes and put an elastic around them, and then I pack them tightly into a couple of big Ziploc bags. This allows me to see where the clothes are when I'm looking for them and keeps them clean. And then I also find that the bags can be compressed down before they're zipped shut, and they take up very little room. For example, for my next trip, here are the clothes that I'm packing. So here are my clothes all packed up for the next trip. They're in 2 large Ziploc bags, and there's 3 pairs of pants, a couple of pairs of shorts, a few shirts, my underwear, socks, and it all fits into my carry-on, taking up less than half the space. So there's lots of room for everything else that I might want to put in there. Once I had all this packed, I took one bathing suit out, knowing that I'll probably buy another one when I'm staying at the beach. And I also took one shirt out. I'll probably buy a shirt there too, so why take an extra one from here? Now, all of my electronics use USB-C chargers, so one cable does most of the work. That's a lot handier than it used to be. I keep everything, the chargers, adapters, cords, in a small zippered pouch to avoid having to dig around through my bag to find a charging cable for my earpods when I need it. And before I close that overhead bin on the plane, I make sure that anything that I might want during my flight is easily accessible. I gave up carrying my big SLR camera years ago, and I don't miss it. My iPhone and GoPro do everything that I need. I also bring a small first aid kit for blisters or minor aches and pains. Traveling light is a mindset as much as it is a packing choice. For me, it's about keeping things simple so that I can move easily between airports, trains, and ferries, and focus on the experience, not on my luggage. And every trip, when I get home, I actually realize that there are 2 or 3 items of clothing that I haven't worn. So despite my efforts at packing economically, I still take too much. When I travel with just a carry-on, I'm not weighed down, literally or figuratively. It's freedom in a bag. If you have any packing hacks that you want to share, well, leave them in the comments below. Safe travels. See you next time.